is Kayla, and today I'm doing a 10 art style challenge. From the little research I did, art challenges became popular around 2007 with Art Fight, and then in 2009 with Inktober. And it seems that 10 art style challenge has been a thing since around 2016 and has continued till today. I personally don't see people doing this challenge often, but I might just be on the wrong side of YouTube and social media. I don't watch that many art YouTubers. Anyway, the characters I'll be using for this challenge today are my Apocalypse OCs. Sonia, her dog Summit, and her teammate Ambrose. I would have drawn their other teammate Dakota, but I needed practice drawing men, so I chose Ambrose. I probably won't get too much into their story because it keeps changing. I'd love to do a video on them in the future once the story is really pieced together. But enough of that, let's get into the challenge, starting with my art style. The only reason I added Summit in any of these is because I'm not the best at drawing dogs, so I needed the practice even though I don't get to add her in half of these art styles. I love her though, she's absolutely adorable. I had the hardest time drawing Sonia's face. It took forever. I had to stop because it was making me super mad, so I came back the next day, and after much struggle, I did it. Ambrose's outfit probably won't end up being his canon design. This is just a placeholder since it was the first time I'd drawn their full bodies. I've only ever designed their headshots, so his outfit is pretty basic for now, but it's fine just for this challenge. His arm is messed up, but I didn't notice it till later, so I didn't fix it. I drew Sonia's backpack just because I hadn't designed it yet. I drew Sonia's jacket perfectly. I don't like how I drew the backpack. The angles are all messed up. But first try drawing a bag, I suppose it's good. We should all ignore Sonia's right shoelaces. It makes no sense. So just don't look at it. It doesn't exist. I didn't really like Ambrose when I finished the sketch, but with line art and coloring, he definitely looks better. But that's all for my art style. Now, for the second art style, Demon Slayer. Doing this art style first, I felt would be easier than others I have on the list because I've done this one so many times. Though I was quite rusty drawing this, I hadn't drawn one of my Demon Slayer OCs in a long time. I only did half bodies, if you'd even consider these half bodies. I mostly chose this pose because I didn't want to draw those pants. Hate drawing those pants. They're so hard to get right. I had forgotten to start the time lapse on this one for the first bit of the sketch. I didn't include Summit in most of the art styles because a lot of animes don't really have references for dogs, at least the ones that I picked. And for Demon Slayer, I don't think there's ever been a dog shown in the show because I couldn't find any references, but I also wasn't looking that hard, so I might have just not looked in the right place. I gave them Demon Slayer uniforms because they're so easy to draw, and they're the only thing we really see in the show, other than kimonos. And I feel drawing Sonia's jacket would have been literal torture to draw with no reference. Once again, I had trouble with their faces. I also made Sonia's skin too light and was too lazy to re-render. She was supposed to look annoyed, but she just kind of looks sad, which I didn't mean to do. But that's all for the Demon Slayer art style. Now, the third art style is Attack on Titan. I adore AOT. I could watch it over and over, and I have, and I will do it again. I wasn't too worried about this art style. The only thing I was a bit iffy on was the line art. Since it's so thin, which isn't similar to my art style at all, I like thicker line art. I was worried about the poses I chose. I didn't want to do just basic full bodies. I wanted a challenge, and these poses definitely gave me one. I struggled a lot with the perspective on Sonia's drawing. The ODM gear is quite hard to draw, and this might be a hot take, but I think feet are harder to draw than hands, and I will die on that hill. But I finally didn't have trouble with drawing Sonia's face, and I changed her hair a bit to fit the style a bit more. I wanted to give up on this drawing so many times, but I didn't. I pushed through and ended up loving it. But enough of Sonia, on to Ambrose. I didn't have trouble drawing Ambrose's face, but I still didn't really like it. Or it might have just been his hair. I don't know. But drawing him didn't take nearly as long as Sonia did. I guess I was getting the hang of drawing all the details or something. His draw only took around 7 hours instead of around 10 for Sonia's. I also think the line art on Ambrose's drawing is a bit too thick, so it doesn't look the best. But that's all for the AOT art style. I'm not sure it looks like the style, but it's a good enough try, I guess. Now, For the fourth art style, Grand Theft Auto 5. It might just be me, but when I used to play GTA, I would just stare at the loading screens in awe. They're beautiful. So when I had the idea to do this challenge, I knew I had to attempt this style. I was super excited and pretty scared. I knew it would probably be torture and that I'd actually be able to include Summit in this drawing, so yay. I decided to pick just 2 different loading screens and draw them as Sonia and Ambrose. I thought it would make it easier that way, if that made any sense. I struggled with the perspective on Sonia's part, mostly on her legs, but luckily for me, I could just use Summit to hide them. I still don't think I got the perspective right, but it looks fine. I also had trouble with her face again. You can definitely tell. Her nose looks weird, and I think she looks more manly, I guess. I think that's because I used Franklin as a reference, so she looks more like a guy than I'd like her to. I finished Ambrose's part first because I expected it to be easier, which it was. I had a love-hate relationship with drawing in this style. The coloring was really hard, but also kind of fun at certain points. It took forever to color his face, and he still looks weird. Surprisingly, Sonia's nose only took like 10 minutes to render, when Ambrose's took like 30. It looks flat. Sonia was a lot easier to color, which surprised me. I thought she'd take longer, but she looks pretty good. Her face is a bit weird, but it's better than Ambrose's. A win's a win, I guess. Summit, on the other hand, looks awesome. I love how she turned out. Rendering her teeth took forever though. I think the rendering on Ambrose's clothes is better than Sonia's, but I tried my best and used the same background for both of them because I was tired of working on this drawing. But that's it for Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, the 5th art style is Emma Artley. I've been watching her for about 2 years now, I think. I didn't think I'd have that much trouble with her art style, but that's where I was completely wrong. It was so hard, and I don't think it even ended up looking like her art style. I think it's mostly in the line art and Sonia's body. I think it's too realistic. I couldn't figure out how to exaggerate her body like Emma does. But in the end, I do really like this drawing, and if I didn't get the fluid right in the middle of drawing this, it would probably look a bit better. I thought the way she colored hair was a bit weird, but once I tried it, it was quite fun. Luckily for me, she posted an art style tutorial, so that made coloring a bit easier. I don't think I really did any of the coloring right, but I like the faces. I like how she colors outside the line art to add the loose strands of hair, and the eyes are so pretty. I don't think the colors are even relatively close to how she does it, but in the tutorial she didn't really show how she colors clothes. In the end, I like Ambrose's part the best. His face is nice, but that's all for Emma's style. I ended up really liking this drawing, so a win's a win, even if it doesn't really look like her art. Now, the 6th art style is Fruits Basket. I love this anime, though I've technically never finished it. I watched the original version of it years ago, then later I watched the remade version, but I never finished it. So I don't really know how it ended. I also forgot to start the time-lapse again, so I'm sorry about that. But I got to include Summit in this one, so that was nice. I had expected this art style to be quite hard, but so far, other than Demon Slayer, this was one of the easiest, which surprised me a lot. In the end, this is one of my favorites. Sonia in this style is adorable, same with Summit. I love them a lot. Ambrose, on the other hand, wasn't hard to draw, but he looks really basic. I guess I just don't really like his part. And the only thing I don't like about this art style is how thin the line art is. In the anime, it looks great, but when I did it, everything just gets lost since it's so thin. But I could have just made it too thin, but I'm not sure, and I'm not fixing it now. And in the end, I don't even think anyone cares. Coloring was so easy. I got it done in like an hour or 2, which for me is really quick. I thought it would take longer, just drawing in general, because I had just switched from an iPad to an XP Pen tablet. But it didn't anyway. That's all for Fruits Basket. I really like this drawing, and I might redraw it in my style. Or not. I don't know yet. Now, for the 7th art style, the starfish face. But before we start, I'm going to put a blood warning here. I understand if you need to skip, I'll put timestamps on the screen. But anyway, Star is the only reason I know anything about comics, and she gave me the confidence to actually try and bring mine to life. I've been watching her for a year or so now. I found her on TikTok, then on YouTube. I was really excited to try her style, but scared at the same time. Her style is quite different from mine, but this time I remembered to start the time lapse so you actually get to see the whole process. I couldn't add Summit in this one, sadly, since I couldn't find any references for dogs in her art style. I found cat references though. She's made a whole video turning her OCs into cats, but sadly no dogs. As you can see in the speed paint, I was struggling with the pose I chose. It just felt so stiff, so I found a different one. It was so much easier to draw. I had trouble with Sonia's face again. I wanted her to look like kinda in shock, I guess, but it just wasn't looking right. After a lot of liquefying, it looks better, but still not what I wanted. I don't think I did the black underneath hair, or whatever it's called, right, on Ambrose, but it looks okay. Sonia looks a bit weird. I think that's just because her hair color is so different. The hair highlights on Ambrose look weird. I don't think I did them right. I don't know what I did wrong, but anyway. That's that for Star's art style. This was one of my favorites. Now on to the 8th art style, Jujutsu Kaisen. Once again, I've never finished JJK. I want to, but I find it really hard to convince myself to watch TV shows. I got to like season 2, then never watched it again. But I still really like this style. I knew it would be hard since JJK uses really thin line art. I suck at doing thin line work. It takes me so long. It's torture. It's so hard to hide mistakes with thin line work. But little did I know, there's a feature in Clip Studio where you can turn pen pressure off. I wish I knew this earlier when lining the fruits basket style. It would have saved my sanity. I know in the later seasons of JJK, the art style changes a bit, just like a lot of other animes. But I like the original better. I know a lot of people don't like the shininess of the clothes, but I like it a lot. I don't think Summit really matches the style. I didn't get the rendering right on her fur and everything. And she also doesn't really look like she's moving, just like she's frozen in the air. I don't know how I'd fix that. Ambrose's face looks a bit odd, but Sonia's, oh my god, she's beautiful. She's absolutely gorgeous. If Sonia wasn't in this drawing, I wouldn't even care it existed. It's not one of my favorites, but it's good because she exists. Now, for the 9th art style, Mari-kun. And just like Star, I found Mari on TikTok, then later on YouTube. Her art is beautiful. It makes me so happy. It's so bright and cute. I didn't think her style would be hard to imitate. I didn't have any trouble on Sonia, but God, drawing Ambrose was so hard. And he still looks weird in the finished drawing. Better, but still really weird. Once again, Sonia is the cutest. I love her. I tried to do the skin-colored dots on her hair that Mari does. I don't think I did it right, and it also doesn't help that Sonia's hair is almost the exact same color as her skin, so it doesn't add much to her. It looks kind of cool on Ambrose. I think his eyes are too small and too red. They're supposed to be brown. They look more reddish pink than brown. Their shoes look weird too, but who cares? Overall, this was quite fun to draw. It didn't take me too long, not one of my favorites, but it's still really good. Now on to the finale. The 10th art style is Jinja Ninja OWO. I found June through YouTube. I randomly clicked on one of their videos and haven't stopped watching them since. June's stylization is beautiful. I love the anatomy. The colors they use are so bright. Their art is literal eye candy. It's so beautiful. I was scared to try their art style. I thought it would be hard, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I love how they color hair. It's really pretty. I don't think I did the skin rendering right, but it looks fine. Ambrose's face looks really weird. I think his eyes are too close together, and his mouth is weird. I love how I did Sonia's hair. It's really pretty. I love the teal hair highlights that June does on some of their art. It was really hard to draw Sonia's nose. I don't know why, but just drawing her face took like an hour. Her nose really messed me up. I mostly focused on coloring their faces right, so their clothes aren't the best. But that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Goodbye!